What's up, everybody? We're back with some more Nova Drift.
Nova Drift!
Today, as suggested by James in the last video, he's like, hey, you've never really done a build with firing array. So today, I'm going to do a build with firing array.
Somebody had mentioned it in the comments at one point, too, and it was just, I happened to see it, happened to remember, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
So if I'm doing firing array, I have a specific build in mind. And it involves using all of my rerolls to get Railgun.
Sweet. First step complete. All rerolls gone. Railgun obtained.
So now, we're really just going to have to wing it here. Well, you're talking about Amp Shield.
That's...
Amp Shield, baby.
Amp Shield's fun. Dangerous, but fun.
Firefly is nice and safe.
Firefly is nice and safe.
Spectre is also interesting if I want to do like a charge shot variant.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I can't charge.
You can't charge while being stealthed.
And be stealthed.
You could theoretically do something like battery, and then you get the double.
Well, I have no rerolls, so...
You just leave and stick with the basic body for now.
I think I'm gonna...
Just take Firefly, because it's just
Firefly... Firefly, I think, is the best baseline body in the game. I think it has the most strengths with the least downsides.
I can agree to that. And the starting butt fire is actually very strong, and there are enough talents in the game that do self-damage that bonus will come into play no matter what build you're doing.
Yes.
Whether you're doing, siege weaponry, or Dying Star, or Burning Heart.
Alright, so... firing array is right here, which is what we're going for. Plus 15% total projectile damage and blast radius for the central projectile in your volley. And then plus 30% total projectile size for the central projectile. So it just increases the size and the damage in the blast radius for your middle thing.
Yes.
Something that a lot of people don't know, which is one of the reasons why I don't get it, is if... It says very specifically the central projectile in your volley. So a lot of people are like, well, if you get like barrage or something, then you get it because it's all the central projectile because it's just you're firing continuously. No, if there's just one line of projectile, there is no central projectile, so it does nothing.
Correct.
I've looked into that. So you need to have other projectiles coming out at the same time.
Right. And it's also a weird one to use with Fusillade because it's like, great, it's more projectiles, but still only that one center one actually does fancy things.
So yeah, so I'm going to have to hurt myself to get that center projectile gooder. I'll just get rate of fires because that's going to help with my chargy stuff later.
Pew, pew.
Pew, 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 laser beam.
Calibrate is a fantastic skill for the railgun.
Yes. I'm just deciding which ones I want first, because I want all
three
of these.
of those.
I think for now, magnitude early on is going to help me the most. And then snipe, obviously.
Yep. I mean, you are already doing some strong damage.
Strong damage individually, but much less frequently than other weapons, so it's still not...
Oh, that's very true, yes.
Like, stuff like this will still take a long time because, like, each shot's doing a lot. But it still takes time.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So, okay, what was the downside with Splinter again? Somebody also had mentioned recently.
Oh, it's only when your projectile breaks.
Right. So for something like...
So if I'm doing enough damage to go through something,
then it doesn't
do anything. And since I'm going to be doing a charge shot, it's fine. If I was doing like a barrage situation, Splinter's really good.
Yes.
But otherwise, it's still good against bigger targets. Like if I'm shooting a juggernaut or something.
Yeah.
then it will splinter and kill everything else. So in that respect, it is still good.
Yes.
But it's not something that I need right now.
Right.
So
it's another one of those mods that does better later in the game. Drone specialist. Warpath's not bad. Hull and shield durability is just safe. You have one reroll.
I'll take the shield durability just
because amp.
The longer that amp is up,
the more damage you do. They're doing almost 600 damage a pop. Those are nuts.
There's going for Aegis and emergency systems was probably good.
Yes, emergency systems is one of my favorite mods, and especially with amp because I mean it's amp. It's gonna break unless you go for a real specific build.
And then with Railgun, I tend to sit still a lot and take my shots, so Aegis is really good.
Yes.
For how I do the Railguns. Which is to say, like someone who's not as good. Because people who are really good can fly, zip this way and that way and all that. And I tend to take my shots, take my time.
Get them snapshots. Them Counter-Strike snip shots.
Alright, I think I'm in a position where I'm going to start taking Volley so I can get firing array. Volley is going to make
a significant damage reduction in the short term. Shield's down.
Yeah, I mean, that'll happen.
Oh, you take Volley and the game's immediately like, hey, would you like a twin strike? Putting you up to 4 projectiles so firing array won't work anymore? You're taking some bananas here, by the by.
Until I get a 5th twin strike.
That's true. And theoretically...
Well, there it is, firing array.
Yep. So now that center projectile is back up to doing almost as much damage as it was before.
Almost.
Not quite, but almost.
Owie. Alright, so my snipe damage isn't going to be doing a whole lot in here.
No, oh god,
but
so much worse.
What I can do is do a little bit of this action.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Firefly's a real good body. And it's good without even doing anything.
You're going to break your shield bumping into him. You did.
Look, it's just a little bump and grind.
Oh my.
Oh dear.
Oh my.
Focus Fire's probably good.
Focus Fire's not bad. Burst Fire's not bad.
But I already have Calibrate, and I really want to get Charge Shot, so I should. But I don't have one reroll as well.
It's true. Well, I mean, you could always take...
It's like efficiency isn't terrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll that reroll.
A targeting is not bad. Again, the upgrades on top of it are questionable. Splinter, again. Splinter's actually not necessarily as bad now that you've lowered your damage, oddly enough.
Like I said, Splinter was never bad.
Splinter's never bad, no.
Oh, I had a second.
You had an extra... Oh, and there's Charge Shot.
Charge Shot, Payload... Oh, Splinter allowed me to get Charge Shot before I got Payload. I was like, how am I seeing Payload and Charge Shot? Oh, yeah. I want Payload as well, but we're going to take Charge Shot.
Whew. Oops.
That was a planned miss.
Yes. Emergency systems.
We're going to take that emergency system. Hey, that was rude. Now with a build like this, I can also get Incendiary Strike and actually have that be not bad.
That's true.
Which is one of the rare times where Incendiary Strike isn't bad.
Oh, yeah. Is this going to be the unchosen mods build? Just all the mods that you don't take very often?
It could be. I'll take Blast Radius.
Well, that one you take fairly often. Fusillade. That one's probably not.
We don't want.
That's
Fusillade.
probably a terrible idea.
This is one of the builds where we take Volley and don't take Fusillade, which is, I think, the only time you'll ever hear me say that. We'll take Hull Strength because.
Yeah, I think Fusillade is not a good idea. Although, if you can get yourself more, what I would love to see you do is find Obsession, and then take more Twin Strikes. That way, every time you take Twin Strike, you are actually adding 2 bullets, therefore always keeping your firing array going.
And ruining my sustainability.
I suppose Twin Strike does lower your recovery, doesn't it?
By a lot.
It's like 5%.
Yes, but 2 of them would be 10%.
Yeah.
Every time.
But it's Twin Strike.
Hey, look! Incendiary Strike. Candescence, now that I have Incendiary Strike, not bad. I'm going to get Payload first, though.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
So now.
Isn't it?
Now I hit something and then it burns. Burns, burns, burns.
Bernie Burns.
He just moved to a different country.
Did he really?
Yep.
Why?
Apparently he's been playing it for a while. He's got like some plans he wants to do. Yeah, look at that burn. That burn ain't bad when you got a big old shot.
Yeah. I mean, good for him. But is he still just running Rooster Teeth, or is he like taking a step back for a bit?
It's Rooster Teeth adjacent. It's technically not part of Rooster Teeth, but he's like anything that he creates. He said can be featured with Rooster Teeth.
Okay. Well, no, I meant more on the other side. If he's moving out of the country, is he CEO abroad, or is he basically taking a full step back and being like, Gus, you're in charge while I'm gone?
I believe it's full step back, and it's not Gus you're in charge. Matt Hullum's been in charge from the main crew, but in fact they have a different president. We're talking a lot about a company that a lot of people probably don't know the inner workings of.
Look, it's curious information. I don't know.
We're going to get Absorption because that's going to lead into Rancor.
Rancor's good. You and I both watch a lot of Rooster Teeth stuff.
Yes.
Rooster Teeth was a... Rooster Teeth... Full-on Rooster Teeth for you, more Achievement Hunter specifically, was kind of a big inspiration for starting the channel in the first place.
Yeah.
With their Let's Plays. Propulsive munitions.
No.
Yeah.
Propulsive, no. I'm just gonna
go for Skirmish Terminate. Skirminate.
Actually, Blitz with this kind of
Blitz
thing is also
very
quite
good for that.
So I think I'd want both of them.
Again, Blitz, another one that you don't normally take too often.
Because it requires a very specific kind of build.
Blitz is all about doing the initial burst of damage.
It's all about that Blitz.
No splashy? I don't know.
No splashy.
I'm not entirely sure.
Perfect. How could one argue with that?
Yeah.
Do adaptive armor.
Yeah, go towards core shielding. Nice and safe.
That way I could theoretically go into antimatter rounds or something. Not feel too bad about it. Oh, Lord.
Whoa!
Oh, Lord.
I'm pretty sure you actually want literally everything on this page. Maybe with the exception...
With varying degrees, yes, but...
With the one exception, I think, of the regen there. I think it's the only one here that you wouldn't want.
Oh, Lord. I think Bravado is going to be the rarest
I think Bravado is probably going to be the rarest, although Rancor is probably going to be the most useful. But Bravado is probably...
That's going to make my thrusters burnier. That's going to make my self-damage resistance and my crash damage resistance tougher.
Yes. And also get you more XP because bigger enemies, more XP.
Okay. Oh, I accidentally burned that guy to death.
Boost! What was that?
That was me thinking ahead, being like, I'm going to need a good thumbnail shot, and I have a boost.
Well, alright.
Look, these are the things you got to think about when you make YouTube videos.
That's fair. It's fair. Also, your shield is about to... There it goes.
It's freaking...
It's amp, I know.
It's gonna die. Just trying to gather as much of this XP as I can without exploding. Okay.
Okay.
Shield cooldown's obviously Concentrated Blast is very good.
Yep.
But I think shield cooldown is also very good.
Not a bad choice.
Just because it's amp shield, you want that back as often as possible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Blitz and Terminate on the same...
We're gonna get Blitz first.
Wow.
Because it's the one I take the least often,
that's
and
true.
That's what this build has become. Talent I don't use very often.
So Dying Star.
No, there's actually a lot more talents that I use even less often than these that don't fit into this build at all.
Oh?
Like Leaf on the Wind, Apotheosis, the one with the blink where I frickin' can punt things into orbit.
I like how you've labeled 3 super mods.
Yeah.
In there, which that's fair. Super mods require a special setup to do. I'm just thinking just regular mods that you don't do very often. There you go. Very nice. Dat burn.
Yeah, I still need Incandescence too.
It's true.
I think I might just take Focus Fire just to make sure that all my shots hit. Because, I mean, well, no, I think Concentrated Blast is going to be more valuable of the...
More damage.
Ones I have available.
Antimatter rounds.
That is the thing that I wanted. So...
More size, more velocity.
Which is more damage for Railgun.
The 18 flat damage is honestly pretty negligible at this point.
No, it's not, because it multiplies with the charge. Alright, with your beams. Get out of here.
Hey.
Terminate.
Also Essence Sap.
Yes. Essence Sap might not be bad with this. I typically like Essence Sap for more high volume of output kind of builds.
Yeah. Fair. Purification
died.
Yeah, purification wouldn't be bad. Your shots are doing a bit of burning damage. Plus, you have the Firefly body.
Yes. But that would reduce my weapon damage, so I don't know if I want to go whole hog on that.
That's fair.
think I want any of these that badly.
Flash shielding. A little bit of targeting is not the worst thing.
We're gonna get stabilization for power reserves. So since I have since I'm going to get Rancor, I actually don't have Rancor because I gave it up. That's true. But once I have Rancor, I'm going to be a very slow boy.
Whee!
Stop it with your mines. Mind your own business. Power reserves. Ow.
Ugh, mine crimes.
Sometimes mine crimes. Heart is a probably not the most popular opinion, but I think that might have been my favorite 90s Disney cartoon.
Yeah?
Rescue Rangers.
Rescue Rangers was pretty dang good.
I know most people are probably going to say DuckTales or something to that effect.
So here's the thing. I loved DuckTales. And so when the new DuckTales came out, I was like, oh my god, DuckTales was so good. I really hope they do this justice. And then fell in love with the new DuckTales.
Yep.
I went back and rewatched the old DuckTales afterwards. Man, did I have nostalgia glasses for the old DuckTales. Like...
That will happen.
That theme song is still on point, but that show... The nephews were all the same. Webby was... there.
It was a different time.
Yeah, it was a different time. Well, let's see. Darkwing Duck was okay. Darkwing is another one of those shows where later seasons were better than later episodes were better than early episodes.
Yeah, that's also
they kind of got their groove better.
Yeah, because Darkwing Duck came out a little bit later than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Because DuckTales is much earlier than that. But in that kind of same vein, another one that I liked that doesn't get mentioned a whole lot was Goof Troop. I like
Goof Troop was super good. I think for me it might be Tailspin is the one that
Tailspin was a good one.
Really was one of the better ones. Like a lot of I grew up on these shows more than anything, so I'm.
See, you were very Disney centric, whereas I was like I like cartoons in general, so I watched all over the spectrum.
Yeah, I watched a fair bit across the spectrum, but generally speaking, yeah, we were a Disney household for the most part. There was a lot of Nickelodeon shows that get a lot of love that I'm like, I never really watched Rocko's Modern Life, like never really watched Ren and Stimpy,
and whereas I watched all of those as a kid as well. I watched things all over the gambit. Like, I watched Disney stuff. I watched Nickelodeon stuff. I watched, like, early anime stuff.
Oh, yeah. Man, early anime stuff was a barren wasteland of options.
It was a mixed bag of a couple of things.
It was like Speed Racer, Sailor Moon, and Dragon Ball. That was like it for a while. Well,
if you're purely looking at what they have for TV options, that is correct.
And then Pokemon.
Well, yes. I actually the first anime that I watched as a kid was Ranma 1/2, which, if you're familiar, is not maybe the thing that you should start off with when you're a kid.
No, probably not.
Because there's a whole lot of like there's a lot of
things.
A lot of boob action.
Oh yeah.
A lot of uncomfortable old man being real creepy.
Super pervy. A lot of stuff in there that is boost. That is They're very fast all of a sudden.
See, stuff like this is where Splinter is really strong. So you get a guy like that, it's like he's not going to die in one shot.
A lot of material in Ranma 1/2. There's Rancor. That was acceptable in the 80s, sort of thing.
Yeah, that show would not fly these days.
For a character that could basically swap genders on the fly, it was not exactly done in a respectful manner in many cases.
But I mean, it was a comedy show, and they weren't
right.
And you know, if you were doing something wrong in that show, the show was pretty clear on this guy is wrong and bad.
Yes, it was very Johnny Bravo-esque in that regard. Of wow, this guy's being a creep. Oh wait, the characters are calling them out on it. It's okay. Your shield pops again. There it goes. Yeah, I think for me the first anime was Sailor Moon. So that one will always hold a special place in my heart. I had a VHS of like 3 Sailor Moon episodes.
3 of them.
Yeah, it's what they did back then, man. You can still find those in like the dollar bin at various stores. Those really, really crappy DVDs that are like 4 episodes of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah, those used to be on VHSs back in the day.
I used to have a box set of the first season of Ranma, and then I lent it to my sister, and I never saw it again.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it was. Here comes a boost. Yeah, it was nice to. It was nice to grow up watching anime slowly become more and more popular here in the States. There weren't a ton of choices until, on TV at least, until like Pokemon came out, and then there was like this craze with like Pokemon and Digimon and all of these
that
for kids animation things that were like Monster Hunter, or I'm sorry, Monster Rancher, friggin' Moncoli Knights, and like the Fighting Foodons, and
just kinda,
Samurai Pizza Cats.
Just kind of kept going.
There were some weirdos. But then we also got to grow up and watch things like Toonami just suddenly exist.
Yeah.
And we got to see things like Full Metal Alchemist and obviously Dragon Ball Z is like the big one that kind of allowed anime to really be a big thing here in the States.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the big one for a lot of people. I know, it was just the old Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I was very into Dragon Ball. It sort of fell off when I found, I mean, if I'm being honest, better stuff.
Is there another boost in there? There was another boost in there. Boost! Let's see. What other good early animes were there for us in that same era? That was when I first saw... Toonami is where I first saw, like, Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Which is still one of the best soundtracks in anime.
It was pretty good.
I was personally a big fan of Dot Hack, despite the fact that I am well aware that show had pacing issues. I always liked to refer to it as, like, the anti-Dragon Ball Z. In, like, Dragon Ball Z would have one fight that spanned 4 episodes, and Dot Hack would go 4 episodes with no combat whatsoever. It was, like, 3 episodes of talking, and then a 5-minute fight in an episode.
See, Dragon Ball with 4 episodes would accompany actually 5 minutes.
Yeah.
which was hilarious. And then it'd just be like, what's gonna happen next on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z? And then it's like, next episode, title, Frieza dies.
Pretty much.
Just like, thanks show.
Good title. Good.
You guys really are masters of suspense.
That is a thing, yeah. Let's see. Outlaw Star was another good one from that time.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I have the box set of that one. There's only a couple of box sets that I own. Outlaw Star. I own the box set of Evangelion.
Yeah, you've gone on record having issues with The old Evangelion.
It's...
It wasn't my cup of tea either. I never really got into it.
Like, I enjoy a good mech anime, and Evangelion did a couple of good things, but just I can't get into a show where the main character is just garbage and it's not treated as comedy. So like Johnny Bravo, I brought that up earlier. Johnny Bravo is a piece of shit. Like, we all know that Johnny Bravo is a piece of shit. But it's funny in the way they do those things. Watching Evangelion, Shinji's a little shit, and it's like plot that he's bad at things, and you're supposed to like see the worst part of yourself in him, and I don't know, I just thought the director was a little self-righteous with a lot of those types of things.
Fair enough.
For those who have seen a lot of the show, generally speaking, people like to break the show up into 3 major arcs. And it's the first third, the middle third, and the last third. And the director, the creator himself, was like, this middle arc is designed to be, this is what every other generic mech schlock anime is. That's basically when... oh boy, some bananas there. And every time that I watch Evangelion, I go...
I thought I was going to screen wrap.
You are so close to screen wrap.
So finish your thought.
That middle bit's my favorite part. Because the best character shows up. The show actually gets good for like 4 episodes. And then they go back to Evangelion.
Yeah. Oh man, well, that was going really well right up until it didn't.
Yeah,
which is how every build goes.
It's true.
It goes really well up until it doesn't.
Yeah, but as you see, like Railgun, I used to think Railgun was really good, but now it's real strong.
Yeah, I thought I was doing well there. Like, me dying had nothing to do with the weapon, and everything to do with the fact that I had a very fragile shield because I was going for pure power.
Yeah, it's true.
But, I mean, killing stuff was not a problem.
That's true. You were doing a ton of damage.
Things were dying.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. There's a couple of talents that I don't take very often. We had your firing array. We had your incendiary strike. Let's see. We had a Blitz. Wasn't there another one that I didn't take very often?
No, I think that was...
Those were the big 3.
Those were the big 3. I think everything else is stuff you've done before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done all of this stuff before,
yeah,
but not very often.
Right.
So there you go. That's how you can use different talents that I don't use very often in the way that I think is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt. I am but a man.
Yeah.
And I guess with that, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.